And now it's time to talk about sustainable attack and tempo. What I mean with this is that if you remember from my area defense lecture, there are plenty of methods to try to defend against an enemy. And a lot of those methods are about slowing down enemy progress and making movement impossible by removing fuel, making space between you and the enemy, using mines, and so forth. And this is from the early turn 40 of a Rebel game I won, which was pretty high difficulty modifier, and it was a very fun and challenging game. But here I had a problem. I attacked the enemy quite early, the evil empire here. I used this small planet cluster between us, and I had these heavy phaser falcons that I used to remove the small minefields, and I used the resources found over here to get quite a lot of rushes. Quite a lot of rush to these old falcons. Quite a lot of rush to the evil empire homeworld area over here. But the thing is that I stopped there to do rebel ground attack for a long time, and there was a lot of turns when we evaded combat and tried to not get the bad side in combat and get the left side and not to be towed away. And it was kind of going back and forth around Warpwell and using a hyper jump intercept tricks to avoid tow and so forth. But the reason, so my attack was pretty fast from my area to the home area, but then it stopped there. I wasn't fast to advance from there. The reason why I stopped there to do the rebel ground attack was because I hadn't planned things properly. When you plan an attack, you should be prepared for the fact that the enemy uses scorched earth, evacuation, slowdown tactics, and stuff like that. And so what you need to do is not only to surprise enemy, but you must have mobility and good speed and enough fuel, for example, that you can not actually reach the first planets. You can actually not only reach the first planets of the enemy, but go past them to the actual core planets where are the good resources. I did that quite well, but then you need to have some kind of plan of how to continue from there onwards. I was pretty sure that I'm going to lose this game because I was certain that I will win this opponent over here, but I was sure that some other player is going to be fast enough to get the planets for victory, because I was stuck in here with most of my fleet. So luckily that was not the case. I was able to bring large diesel base freighters and fuel with neutronic fuel carriers and all kinds of supply ships, Merlin alchemy ships, and I was able to get the ships move and attack southwards and onwards and win the sector. But so when you are creating an attack, it's not just about building big ships and sending them to enemy. It's about planning how you are able and calculating how you are able to move in a manner that you will not only reach the core planets of the enemy, go past the scorched earth area, but also to continue from there. What kind of ships and clans and resources you need to create a working economy in the new location, so you can keep on going forward. Because the mechanics of this game require that if you want to win this game quite soon and have an edge and keep to have edge over the enemy, you need to keep up the speed so that the enemy is not able to evacuate, regroup, and counterattack. Okay. And that's something that I'm still practicing and I'm focusing in my present games. So perhaps in the future I'm able to give you more detailed information about how that's done.